Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Recently I posted a video about how much I'd improved just practicing on 1 week. You could see on the first page compared to this page, like the difference between the drawings that I've been able to do. And it kind of got me thinking about the 10,000 hour theory. And like that theory is basically that it takes 10,000 hours to become a master at any kind of skill. And it kind of got me thinking, what could I do with 24 hours? Like, I don't necessarily want to be a master, but I'd really like to improve. So the idea is to have quality over quantity. I want to try and do a little bit every day. And I have to record how much time I'm spending on these. I'm going to draw physically and digitally. The digital drawing is going to be a little tricky for me because I'm quite new to it. But I've made myself this chart here, so I'm going to focus on splitting it between like anatomy and just focusing on the body parts, and then also on full body compositions, because I kind of want to think about like what way would I improve most. Would it be if I'm just drawing full body images, like would I improve quicker by doing that, or would I improve faster if I'm just focusing on getting really good at drawing heads and then getting really good at drawing eyes? I've already been drawing a little bit, so I decided to give myself a little bit of credit and fill in some of the hours or some of the minutes that I've spent here. But yeah, I just think it's going to be a really interesting experiment. So I also used it as an excuse to buy myself some new sketchbooks, because who doesn't want new sketchbooks, honestly? I'll have separate sketchbooks for the body parts and for full body compositions, and I thought maybe you guys would like to decorate them with me today. So these are the ones I'm going to put on the full body sketchbook, and these are the stickers that I'm going to use to decorate the anatomy sketchbook. So let's get into it. My desk is really busy, so I decided that I wanted to write what I was using each sketchbook for on the spine of the sketchbook, so I could just grab it super easily. I used to do some acrylic painting, so I had some paints left over, so I'm going to use the white first to pick out the letters and then use the gold to go over the top of it, just to make it a little bit easier to see. I guess on the black it's kind of hard if you just put the gold straight on top of it. I think the end goal of this is I would love to be able to draw and like illustrate manga and like maybe write my own manga one day. Like, I really enjoy watching anime and reading manga, so being able to replicate the art that I enjoy would be really, really cool, and I think that's what I'd like to get out of this the most. So I also had some old stickers left over, and these are super old, like over 10 years old. I'm amazed they're still sticky, but I thought they'd look really cute on the top of the spines here, so I decided to put them on as well. that's my anatomy sketchbook finished. So now it's on to the full body sketchbook. So for the anatomy sketchbook, I kind of wanted to do stickers that were like body part themed, and then I wanted to go for some stickers that had more like full body compositions on this one, just to fit the theme, I guess. I also kind of ended up color coding them a little bit, so the anatomy one was a bit more like blue and green, whereas there's more pink and red involved in the full body one. I just think it's kind of cute. I also really enjoyed doing the first page, I guess, or like the intro page for the anatomy one. I did get a little bit tired though, I'm not gonna lie, so the intro page for my full body sketchbook is not as colorful, I guess, but I think it's still fitting the theme. Like, I did a full body composition sketch instead of like the little body parts ones that I did in the anatomy sketchbook, so I'm keeping with the theme. I guess now would probably be a good time to give you guys some background about myself, oh my goodness, and about the kind of art journey, I guess, that I've been on. I've always really enjoyed anime and manga, and I've always been into drawing ever since I was a kid. But life kind of gets in the way, so it's difficult to keep up with it. At least I've found it difficult anyway. And I think I've always never really looked at reference photos. I've always kind of tried to draw from my imagination, which is not a skill that everybody has. And I think that's kind of why I've never really been satisfied with the way that my art looks. So what I'd like to do, especially with this sort of little 24 hours series, I guess, that I'm going to do, is that I'd really like to focus on drawing from reference images, especially reference images of animes that I really like Ranma Half and Sailor Moon and those kind of like 90s animes. I love the way that they look. So I'd really like to be able to replicate that kind of art style. And I think using reference photos to look at and to try and build my art up in that way is going to be super helpful, and hopefully get me to a stage where I would feel confident enough to share my art and sort of make my own manga and eventually publish it.